All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to dive in, especially with today's topic, iPhones in 2024.
Yeah, we're looking at, all these new iPhones coming out
Yeah.
and trying to figure out, which one is the best fit
For everyone.
for everyone. Yeah. So we've got this great comparison of like all the top models.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut through the marketing and all the hype.
Absolutely. Yeah. That new phone hype gets everyone.
Yeah. And figure out what's what. So let's see. We've got the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the 16, the 15, and then the iPhone SE.
Wow. So we've got the whole spectrum. That's great.
Yeah, we're going from like top tier all the way down to budget friendly.
Nice.
So let's start at the top. I mean, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This thing's a beast.
Yeah, the Pro Max. It's like the I want it all phone.
Yeah. And it pretty much delivers. I mean, first of all, that A18 Pro chip, that thing's got to be so powerful.
Oh, it's a powerhouse.
And then the screen, 6.7 inches with that 120 hertz refresh rate.
Yeah, that's going to make everything look so smooth. Scrolling's going to be like buttery smooth.
Exactly. And it's not just the refresh rate. It's also a Super Retina XDR display. So the colors are going to be incredible.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like a movie theater in your pocket.
Exactly.
Speaking of movies, this is the Pro Max, so the camera's got to be insane, right?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't disappoint, let me tell you. So you've got a 48 MP wide lens,
Wow. 48.
12 MP ultra wide, so you can capture those big landscapes,
Yeah.
and then a 5X telephoto. So
Yeah.
if you want to get up close and personal with something,
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I'm not like a huge photography buff, but even I'm like, okay, I see the appeal here.
Yeah, it's hard to resist a good camera like that.
Yeah.
And especially with the bigger sensor and the processing, it's going to take such good pictures, even in like low light, so you can get those, romantic evening shots.
No more grainy, blurry photos.
Exactly. Crisp and clear.
So, all right, the Pro Max is obviously the king of the iPhones this year.
Yeah, the top of the line.
But what about if you don't need...
All the bells and whistles.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need all the bells and whistles. Well, then you've got the iPhone 16, still really powerful, A18 chip.
Okay, so the same chip as the Pro Max.
Same chip.
Yeah.
And a beautiful 6.1-inch OLED display.
So it's still OLED.
Right.
Okay. I always get that mixed up with like LCD.
Yeah, it's easy to confuse them, but OLED is definitely the better technology. Each pixel is like its own little light bulb, so you get those really deep blacks and the bright colors, and it saves battery, too.
Okay, so basically the 16 is like the Pro Max's little sibling.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more affordable, a little bit smaller, but still really powerful.
Still packs a punch. Now, there's this thing I saw called Apple Intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
What is that all about?
So that's Apple's new AI technology. It's honestly a bit of a mystery still. We don't have all the details on how it works or what it will do.
It sounds kind of risky to like buy a phone based on something so mysterious.
That's a good point. But it seems like Apple's putting a lot of emphasis on AI going forward. So even if we don't know exactly what it is yet, it's probably a good sign for the future.
Future-proofing the phone.
Yeah, exactly. And even without the AI stuff, the 16 has some cool new features, like this camera control button. So now you can adjust your settings like right on the camera screen.
Oh, so like brightness and stuff like that?
Exactly. You don't have to go digging through the menus anymore.
It's convenient.
Yeah, especially if you're filming something and you need to change settings quickly.
All right, so 16 is definitely a solid option. But let's be real. iPhones are expensive.
Yeah, they can be.
So what about people who are on a budget? Like, what's the best value iPhone this year?
Well, you're in luck because the iPhone 15 is a fantastic value. It's got the A16 Bionic chip.
Still a powerful chip, right?
Oh, yeah. That's the chip that was in the Pro models last year. So still plenty of power. And it's got a beautiful 6.1-inch OLED display.
Okay, so we're still getting the good screen.
Still getting the good screen. Yep. And a 48 MP main camera.
Really? 48 MP on the budget model.
Apple's really stepping up their game with the cameras this year. So even if you're on a budget, you can still get amazing photos and videos.
Okay. I'm impressed. But what makes the 15, like, unique besides the price?
Well, it's got that dynamic island at the top of the screen, which is like a little interactive area for your notifications and stuff. And it's got a soft feel glass back.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. We'll have to get our hands on one and see what it feels like.
Okay. All right. Last but not least, we've got to talk about the iPhone SE.
Ah, the SE. The classic.
Yeah, this is for the people who like don't want all the fancy stuff.
They just want a phone that works.
Yeah, they want the classic iPhone experience. They want the home button. They want the 4.7-inch screen.
Yeah, it's a little time machine. Back to the good old days.
But it's still a good phone, right? Like they can still keep up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's got the A15 chip, which is still very capable, runs the latest iOS 17 without any problems.
So it's not like you're getting a slow, outdated phone.
Nope. It's still a great option, especially if you value simplicity and affordability.
All right, so we've talked about all the specs and the features and all that.
Yeah.
But like, what does it all actually mean for like the average person?
That's a great question. So let's break it down. Let's say you're a photographer,
Yeah,
like a serious photographer. You're always out there taking pictures. You want the best possible
I
camera.
want the Pro Max.
The Pro Max is for you.
Yeah.
No question. You're going to love that telephoto lens and the bigger sensor and all that.
Okay, what about if you're like a content creator? You know, you're always making videos and stuff for social media.
Then the 16 is going to be a great fit. That powerful chip is going to handle all your video editing, and the camera controls are going to make it so easy to get the perfect shot.
And the 15 is good for like students.
Yeah, students or anyone who's on a budget. You're still getting a great phone with good camera and a good screen, but you don't have to spend a fortune.
And then the SE is for like my parents.
Yeah, exactly. People who just want a simple, reliable phone. They don't need all the fancy stuff.
They just want to make calls and check their email. All right, so there you have it. The iPhones of 2024.
A phone for everyone.
Yeah. We got the Pro Max, the 16, the 15, and the SE.
And it's really all about figuring out what's most important to you. What are your priorities? What do you need your phone to do?
Yeah, exactly. So we've given you all the information. Now it's up to you to decide.
But here's a final thought. Technology is always changing so fast, right?
Yeah, it's moving at the speed of light.
So how much do you value future-proofing?
Right.
Like, is it worth getting a phone with maybe some features you don't need right now, but that might be really useful in a year or two?
That's a good question. Especially with this whole Apple Intelligence thing. Like, we don't know what it is yet, but
That it could be huge.
yeah, it could be the next big thing. So that's something to think about.
Definitely. So do your research, compare the models, and choose the iPhone that's perfect for you.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
See you next time.
See ya.